What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, every time I watch this sport we call boxing, I'm constantly reminded of why I watch it. Tonight was no exception. HBO, they put on a hell of a card. It was a sleeper card. They had the Nathan Cleverly versus Kovalev fight. Um, every fight that I seen today was just absolute heart determination. Like I said, it was a sleeper card. Some of the non-hardcore boxing fans may not have made the time to watch HBO's Boxing After Dark, but I assure you, if you can catch the replay, you should. If you're trying to learn more about boxing, you should. I mean, these are the fights. This is a great snapshot of the sport. Pure heart, determination from really all the fighters involved. So I'm not going to spend too much time. I was just chilling out, mellowing out, watching the HBO Boxing After Dark. I don't have my technical notes and exact round numbers and detailed notes on the fights, but I'll give you a brief overview of what I've seen tonight. So in the first fight on HBO, it was Nathan Cleverly versus Sergey Kovalev, and this fight took place initially live in Wales. So by the time I watched it in California, it was a re-air, and I already knew who won, so I just watched it to see how it unfolded. And basically, not much to tell with this fight. You could tell Kovalev has power, he's tremendous power, and it bothered Cleverly. And Nathan Cleverly, it looked like he tried to get cute in the third round, and Kovalev just started attacking. He mounted his attack, and he just dropped him. He took a knee, and I mean, from that point, Cleverly, he never regained his composure. He never regained his legs. His legs looked real stiff, and he was really saved by the bell. He was the hometown favorite. He was literally saved by the bell, and the ref separated the two fighters. So by the fourth, unless something miraculous happened, I knew that Cleverly didn't have the smarts, the seasoning, the legs to continue taking punishment. And the ref stopped in the fourth round. He gave Cleverly an opportunity, but very impressive for Kovalev. He shows he's still a contender. Excuse me, Cleverly had never been down before in his career, so Kovalev showed at 175 he's a force to be reckoned with. Anyone that has that type of power, and a good thing is he definitely has fundamental skills and he has power. He doesn't have the best defense, but again, when you have that type of tremendous power, if you have a chin, you could be a bulldozer and very dangerous. So I'd like to see Kovalev obviously fight Stevenson if he gets past Tavoris Cloud. Would be a hell of a fight. Stevenson most notably, knocked out Chad Dawson in the first round. I'd also actually like to see Kovalev versus Bernard Hopkins, more so to the fact that I think Hopkins would embarrass him, but just to see a guy at Bernard Hopkins' age, how long can he keep doing this? How long can he stay um, taking down younger people who have punching power and all kinds of stuff, and just by using his boxing skill and knowledge and just boxing ring generalship, how long can he keep taking on these younger opponents with power and stuff like that? So I'd even watch that particular fight. So good win for Kovalev. The next one was Jonathan Romero versus Kiko Martinez. And Martinez looked awesome in this fight. He was throwing some vicious body shots, just ripping Romero to the body. And in my opinion, I seen early on a lot of flaws in Romero's game plan. This was his first title defense, and it looked like a foregone conclusion that he was going to get stopped. He showed a hell of a chin. He showed a lot of heart. I would definitely watch him again, but he definitely needs to close the gaps on some of the flaws he was making. One, he's a tall fighter, and he was allowing Kiko Martinez to rip his body. He was staying on the ropes way too long. He had his chin up, especially for a shorter fighter who was throwing uppercuts and ripping to the body. He just didn't fight the smart fight, in my opinion. And Romero needed, in my opinion, a loss like this so he can get his act together and see the errors he made and where he can improve. But definitely has flaws in his game plan. Kiko Martinez, I'm sure he gained a lot of fans. Again, vicious body shot. He showed power. He showed determination. He threw a high volume of punches. Very solid work rate. Pablo Sarmiento, also the trainer of Sergio Martinez, as well as Kiko Martinez. Very underrated trainer. Um, just judging by those two guys right there, Sergio and Kiko. So great win for Kiko Martinez. And finally, we had Darren Barker versus Daniel Geale. This was a hell of a fight. I mean, this was a rough and tumble in the same vein as Carl Froch versus Mikhail Kessler. Same story. You had two fighters who both wanted it. They both took vicious shots. They both were shining and had spots where they looked good. Just overall hell of a fight. Um, One thing I was really impressed with Darren Barker is the fact that in the sixth round he was dropped with a vicious body shot. It was a body shot that we've seen so many fighters, Matthew Macklin against Triple G, or Ricky Hatton out of retirement against Sinchenko. Just so many fighters have gotten dropped with similar body shots and they did not recover. Darren Barker, he took the 8 count and got back to his feet, and the judge or the ref was like, "Are you sure you want to continue?" And he said, "Yeah." And it's like that kicked him in gear. After that point, he came on. He like that was a rocky round for him. This whole sixth round after he was hurt after the body shot, but he just showed so much heart, so much determination and willpower that he wouldn't be denied. Again, very similar to like a Carl Froch, Mikhail Kessler. Um, Daniel Geale is a really tricky fighter. It's like he's on speed or something. He's like real jittery, lots of movement, tries to hit you from angles. He's very slippery, very, very slippery. So it made for a hell of a fight. I think Darren Barker was more proficient and technically sound, but Daniel Geale, he definitely shined the spots and had Barker hurt. Sixth round, I would say in the 12th round, it looked like Barker had no legs. His legs looked really stiff, but this was a tug of war type affair. Both fighters look great in spots. I would definitely watch both fighters fight in the future, and just overall hell of a card. Like I said, just grueling cards. This was a sleeper card with heart. I mean, that's all the best way to put it. Every fight that I seen, those fighters showed heart. Everybody in those fights showed heart. Even Cleverly, he got knocked down and he tried to get back up against a tremendous puncher. Romero was taking some vicious monster shots. He was getting ripped to the body, and his eye was leaking, all kinds of stuff. And then obviously in the Darren Barker, Daniel Geale, both fighters shined in spots, gave it all they had, but Darren Barker ultimately looked like he wanted it a little bit more. Um, and sometimes in boxing, it's too little, too late. It's you gotta get those early rounds in the bank for later because you never know what happened later. And I think Darren Barker did that. He looked good the very first couple of rounds. He got hurt midway through. He got hurt in the last round, but I think he did enough to win. Split decision win. It was a close fight. If you did give it to Daniel Geale, I wouldn't be mad at you. It's just that type of fight. I'm so thoroughly impressed with this year of boxing. I've seen Timothy Bradley versus Ruslan Provodnikov. I've seen Omar Figueroa versus Arakawa. I've seen Darren Barker versus Matthew Macklin, Brandon Rios versus Alvarado Part 2. I mean, I've seen some grueling fights that were very back and forth. Could have went either way. Um, we're not even done with the year. We still got Canelo and Mayweather. We still got Pacquiao, Rios. We still got Marquez, Bradley. I mean, I don't even know if this is realistic. And then there's other fights they're talking about making Amir Khan and Devin Alexander and Adrian Broner and Marcos Maidana. I just feel like this is an awesome year for boxing. They definitely put their stamp on this year. It's so many memorable fights. You might want to put that in the Encyclopedia Britannica or something, 2013, when you look back at boxing, because this has been a tremendous year. So let me know what you guys think of tonight's fight card, HBO Boxing After Dark. I was thoroughly impressed. Again, so much heart, all packed into 3 separate fights, and I can't complain. So good night. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego, signing off.